So my name is Acquah, and I'm the National Project Coordinator for the International Trade Center Netherlands Trust Fund 5 project. We support tech startups and IT companies in Ghana, helping them scale and internationalize. This is through technical assistance, from investor readiness to how to internationalize, to various things from marketing or even HR to the necessary skills and know-how for them to increase their ability to scale and their capacity. It's also through market linkages, both within the country, but also taking them to various countries, whether it's B2B missions to Nigeria, or taking them to conferences such as GITEX or Tech in London for Tech in Ghana, London edition, for them to meet partners, investors, and just see the market and see how they can then access new markets abroad. So the Innovation Spark is an innovation consultancy that was formed to really help both startups but also development partners and hubs with their programming to create suitable programs for companies to go through and then be able to achieve their goals. Since Innovation Spark has morphed to also include the Ghana Innovation Journal, which is a media house that helps bridge the asymmetrical gap of data between development partners, corporates, investors, and the startup ecosystem. It has both weekly news and also in-depth reports that help showcase what's really happening in the Ghana landscape, from raises, investments, expansions, and just interviews and insights from key people in the space. So the Innovation Spark started 6 years ago. The co-founders have all worked in the innovation space. One graduated from MEST, which is one of the largest incubators across Africa. I myself was in a startup in Europe, and I've founded 2 other companies before moving to Africa. So we came together to combine our skills and then be able to help really impact the ecosystem in Ghana. So challenges, a lot of people need help, but a lot of time is the money for the help that is hard to find. So one of the challenges that we have faced is being able to support various companies who are unable to pay. But we do a lot of pro bono work, which is able to balance from the work we do for development partners and the likes, who then pay us for the work we do. The opportunities and some of the benefits are really the testimonials of the companies we've been able to help and see how far they've come. From those who have been able to start, and also those who have come through our programs we organized and then had an exit, for example, like Starbucks had an exit and now is an investor himself. So there are a lot of companies who have benefited from the work and the insights we've been able to provide, and just shaping the mindsets and giving the right knowledge to help direct in the right way. So our impact on the country has been impacting these individuals who've then gone on to impact, almost like a train the trainers. So to build a sustainable ecosystem, with the ITC, we even did an ecosystem mapping. I think the most important thing is to understand where the ecosystem is, what's going on, and how then it can thrive and what's needed for it to survive. Seeing the collaborations of the various players in the ecosystem, so the hubs, the investors, the startups, and how they collaborate with the ecosystem mapping that the International Trade Center did 2022, helped give a really nice overview of what's going on. There are multiple factors. The African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, holds true. You need the government, you need the private sector, you need high-skilled labor, so education and school systems. You need opportunities, you need mentors, and yes, you need money. Over the years, more money has flown into Ghana in terms of investments and grants and funding, but we still need more on all sides and all different levels to really get an ecosystem that's really fully thriving. But we've seen a lot of change. Over the years, we've seen hubs now appear in various cities across Ghana. Before, they were only in Accra, but then last couple of years, now see hubs all across. We have now over 100 hubs in the last report by the Ghana Innovation Journal, which shows that they now hubs all the way in Wa even. So you're seeing this ecosystem now growing in unexpected places. You're seeing more funding come in, more different funding partners, ITC, GIZ, various investors, using investors from Austria, such as Speed Invest, which is a non-typical investing country for Africa, come to the space. So it shows you that the Ghana startup scene, Ghana entrepreneur scene is growing, and it's growing to, let's say, a mature level. One of the key aspects of the International Trade Center Netherlands Trust Fund 5 project is not just to help scale the companies, but to help internationalize the companies. Sitting in one place is sometimes hard to really see the value and the ability to move your company from A to B. You obviously have to first have a good product that works well in your market, have enough traction, have enough know-how, and also have enough capital needed to scale. But then how do you do it? In the ITC, we have various programs, both for our tech startups and our IT BPO companies, that focus on scaling. Our export marketing planning really gives companies a 1-year program for them to really home in on what product are they trying to sell to what market. What is the product market fit there? What are the strengths and weaknesses? And how do they do it? We follow that on with a sales program where we then also help companies understand the aspects of sales and how to actually complete the sale of a product in a new market. This technical assistance enables companies to really fully grasp the know-how and then also have the confidence to then execute and roll out their plans. Apart from that, market linkages are very key. So whether it's going to a new country, taking a delegation, like we did 6 companies from Ghana to Lagos, working with market makers like Acquah to form B2B meetings and sessions where companies can be matched to one another and therefore see how they can then do business together. This one meeting has led to companies establishing in Lagos, finding business partners, and working with those business partners on multiple projects. Other such means of helping the company scale is things like taking them to various conferences, like Web Summit, Tech in London, or Tech in Ghana in London, Africa Arena, Mobile World Congress. These kind of events enable startups to meet investors, partners, and get industry insights into what's happening both in the country it's taking place in, but around the world. These opportunities enable them to then have the know-how, the skill, and the financing then to expand. A recent case is a company like Grow For Me. They went to Nairobi for Africa Tech Summit, and at the conference, they were already able to meet an investor, which they have very positive conversations with, and sign on to M-Pesa, the largest mobile money operator in Kenya. Partnership like that will enable Grow For Me to really scale in that country. That's due to our involvement with this one conference. So by taking them to different conferences, they're now able to have that first step into new countries. But sometimes entering new countries starts from home. By having a cohort of companies, we're able to build trust and community and a sense of togetherness within the cohort, Ubuntu. And that has led to Grow For Me scaling to Zimbabwe rather. And that's through a partnership with another local Ghanaian company, Choto Tractor, that was already there. But now by them trusting each other and knowing each other, they were able to be introduced to partners in Zimbabwe and now establish and have operations going. So it's really about bringing people together and forming communion, connection, and community. And that's what we do at the International Trade Center. So funding is always an interesting challenge. You have to see how to get money at the right price and the right cost to both the startup and the lender. And I say the lender because it's both, whether it's equity investment or debt investment, which happens to be the two most commonly used investment forms. However, you also have new methods coming up, such as blended financing, where development partners will often come in to take first loss, or will come in at a early stage to help catalytic conversion of the financing. You have different revenue type models, such as revenue-based financing, where it's not just a straight equity or debt, but a blended model where then investors can come in, support companies, and not have them dilute the equity, which is one of the big issues for startup founders, but being able to have the capital needed to grow the business. Of course, though, the best capital is client money. So finding new ways of getting clients, some of these market linkages mentioned earlier, are also about finding ways of getting clients right away. So if you can find clients, whether it's strategic partnerships with telecoms, whether it's like an MTN or a telecell, which then opens you up to new markets and new clientele, you're then able to fund your business from sales rather than from sale of equity. So for startups to look at the various methods from debt to equity to blended finance, but also from how to increase their sales at affordable rates, makes sense. So the Innovation Spark isn't really a membership, but we have a community. So we have a community on both WhatsApp, we are on LinkedIn and various other platforms where we share news from the ecosystem. So we are a platform where we help elevate and share and inform and inspire people about what's happening in the ecosystem. So we invite everybody to join our LinkedIn page, our TikTok, our Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, for you to really see what's happening in the space and then be part of it, right? We also invite you to share stories with us so that we can share to the wider community so they get to inspired and get to see what's happening. We believe companies and startups really need the exposure and the experience. And if you get experience from a third party, by seeing what they've gone through, seeing where they are now, it will help you to shape your mindset and then aspire for more. So we really help highlight what's happening in the space. So that, for example, if you're looking for investment, by following our news, you get to see who's getting investment. So you're aware of what sectors are very interesting, where the investors are coming from, who the investors are. So it helps you with your own research when you're then doing your investment rounds to see the size of investment, what stages they're going for, what countries they're coming from, for you then to go do your own work in that aspect. At the same time, we also give a mapping of different companies in various spaces. So as agri-tech, so you can see who are various agri-tech players, so you're then fully aware of who you need to talk to, what's happening in that space, and you get insights. So we help ideate, innovate, and implement. So ideate, we help you come up with ideas from the knowledge we have. Innovate if you need to change something because of the ideas you've been faced with. And implement, we are also a consultancy, so we also do help companies implement various things. Often more for whether it's large corporates or development partners, but also for startups, we also help advise them and help them implement some of their wishes. I think as a nation, we are ready for this bill. I think we have been ready for this bill. I think our ecosystem is more mature than some of the other countries that have already passed the bill. However, it's about now the government wanting to pass the bill. I'm not one of the main people behind it, but as the International Trade Center, we've supported the technical working group in their engagements with different stakeholders to get the consensus and to understanding and shaping the bill from that inputs they received. The bill is in a very good standing, but now it's really in the hands of the government to decide whether the bill is a priority for them to pass this year or not. We're hoping the bill will be passed early this year. We know we're in an election year this year. We still believe the bill can be passed early this year, which will give it time to be implemented. Because not just passing the bill, there's some countries that have passed the bill but still haven't implemented the bill. And the bill will really help unlock a whole new era of the startup world. And we all know today that startups are key to the backbone. We need startups to create jobs, we need startups to create change, we need startups to create impact. Looking at startups like M Farmer, Complete Farmer, Farmerline, and the millions of farmers that they're impacting, or millions of lives that they're impacting. We need startups to do that. And with the startup bill, more startups in more sectors will be able to do just that. The government is doing great things, with things such as the Bank of Ghana, with their sandbox for fintechs, and enabling fintechs to really engage the government and for the government to understand what's happening from fintech's point of view, and fintechs to have a very close relationship with the government. But imagine being able to do it with all sectors, and that's what the startup bill would allow. So the agribusiness or agtech is now one of the fastest growing sectors. It's one of the most funded sectors in Ghana currently because of the great demand and the great need. Agriculture employs close to 40% of the population in Ghana. We have, though, still close to 30% post-harvest food waste. In Ghana, we're importing millions of dollars on various foods that we could grow here. Technology, or IT, is information technology. It's technology that helps the flow of information. There's a proverb that says, my people perish from lack of knowledge. Knowledge and information go hand in hand. Food is perishing from lack of knowledge of what market it needs to be sent to, or the knowledge of how to preserve it. So if we can use tech to help pass on information and empower the right people in the value chain of food, from the farmer to the middlemen, to the distribution, to the warehouse, to the producers, to the mills, to the financiers, we'll be able to move funds and products and information to the right place at the right time. That's where IT comes in. Now, IT plays out in lots of different ways. You have everything from drone spraying, so there's companies like AB Solutions. You have farmer and market information from Isoku. You have the ability to be able to fund a farm from companies like Grow For Me, or keep your products cold from companies like Acquah Fresh, right? These are all different tech companies that are impacting various aspects of the value chain of agriculture. But if you're able to really link the value chain together with these tech solutions, you're able to increase your yields, you'll be able to reduce post-harvest food loss, which is more money to the farmers, more food to the market, thus also reducing food price for the people. And all this will have a knock-on effect for the country at home. We'll be able to do more export of food, bringing hard currency back to the country and earning more people money. This all needs tech to be enabled. There's no way you can pass information on, knowledge on, or money on without the tech that underlines and acts as the backbone for the agriculture to work. And that's why tech in agriculture is so vital. And companies such as KIC, Cosmos Innovation Center, and the work that they're doing supporting tech startups and the formation of tech startups is vital, because that enables them to come into the market more mature and ready to really grasp what's happening and run with it. And conferences from the KIC, like the Agriculture Innovation for Africa Conference, enables them to have a market and really see and connect with investors and various people on what's happening in the agri space. So open innovation is a very interesting concept of where the idea doesn't necessarily have to come from within the company. Traditionally, companies have research and development teams within the company where they generate the ideas from. But it got to the point where some of your best ideas may not actually come from the company itself, it comes from outside the company. And how do you adapt that? Open innovation is playing with that concept. With innovation, it's open. So it's not necessarily in-house. Open innovation has many different facets to it. At Siemens, where I worked in the Open Innovation Department, we did everything from innovation challenges, where we had different students and universities and research centers send in proposals for areas that we wanted collaborations in. We also had in-house platforms. Imagine like a corporate Facebook, where you have tag clouds around people, and you get to be able to link people together to share ideas across departments, geographies, and even divisions of Siemens. Now, to put this in context and understand why this is so important, Siemens is huge. Most people know Siemens maybe from the phones or maybe a fridge or some consumer good like that. But Siemens does trains, it does power station, it does MRI machines. Siemens is so big. The only two institutions that have a wider reach than Siemens are the Catholic Church and Coca-Cola. So we had an in-house tool meant and enabled cross-cutting collaborations to be done. So someone in Japan can talk to someone in Ghana and collaborate with someone in America on a program, although they've never met. Now, this concept of being open, sharing, and collaborating can really benefit companies because you don't have all the answers. And often someone else outside already has a solution that you need if you're willing to share your need and open up your business for someone else to collaborate in. Now, one great example of open innovation is almost user innovation is with Nike. Nike has a whole campaign where they allow users to design their own shoes. This now enables somebody who sees a nice pair of shoes, but doesn't like the colors, to send, okay, I want a shoe with a black lace and white backing and red sole, and you customize the shoe to fit your personality, your colors, your vibe. Of course, the benefit for Nike is that now that you have made the shoe, you will buy the shoe that you like. And also it's a fashion statement where then you now become a walking billboard and people are interested in your shoe. Taking all this back to the tech ecosystem in Ghana. With open innovation, if you really use your customer service team well and listen to your customers and invite your customers to share with you, you can get them to share with you the products, the services, the needs that they want solved. So your production teams and your build teams build towards that. So you're not just building for building's sake, but you're building knowing there's a real need out there that's looking to be solved. Furthermore, collaborations between companies can also be done. In Ghana, I strongly believe we need to collaborate even more. Collaboration is key. And we still have a mentality of keeping things closed and to ourselves and scared of sharing our ideas and things with people. If I mention two companies, Apple and Samsung, in your head you're probably thinking those are the two biggest competitors. Those are two big enemies. They keep the secrets to themselves, they're fighting each other, they're always competing. But the truth couldn't be further away, where the iPhone uses Samsung screens, which means that they collaborate. The two biggest competitors are actually collaborators, and they co-compete. If we take that same mentality to things we're doing in Ghana in the tech space, and seeing where can I integrate into another company's value chain and add value in some way. An example of this is with two companies in the ITT cohort, Choto Tractor and Grow For Me. They're both in the agri-tech space. They could say, oh, we're both dealing with the same farmers, so let's not work together. Or, what has actually happened in Zimbabwe, far, far away from Ghana, they realized that they can work together and serve the same farmers. So now Grow For Me is providing inputs like seeds and financing to farmers that Choto Tractor will then eventually come to farm from. So they have fused the same users together in their value chain. Similarly, companies like Farmerline and AB Solutions are also exploring different ways of working together. The concept of open is how can you get someone from outside your company to come in and add value? Yes, you need trust. Yes, you need processes. Yes, you need to think about how things are done and structured. But there's so much benefit on doing that. And you'll be able to unlock knowledge, know-how, and competencies that you don't have in-house. So if you're looking to scale, as you say, if you can go fast, go alone. If you can go far, go together. Open innovation is the key for you to go far by going together on a journey with people. So technology needs to play a very significant role because of the age or the dispensation that we're in. We live in the technology age. We live in the fourth industrial revolution, which is all about technology. So if you're not tech-enabled, you are then having a handicap against yourself. It's like going back a few generations and saying, I won't use fire, right? If you're not using heat, if you're not using steam, you are behind the curve. So by deploying tech and using tech as a tool, tech no longer the means, but tech is a tool to unlock abilities. In fact, in the era we live in now, it's not even just tech anymore, but AI. Right now, most investors are making sure or looking for AI-empowered solutions. Because AI, as much as a tech on using on data, has the power to unlock productivity to huge levels, meaning you can do more for the same amount that you have in your company. So it's very fundamental that we now look at deploying tech. Whether it's basic, like just having a website, so people can find you online, or being available and having an address on Google, so people can find a way to you, right? There's a saying now, if you're not on Google, you don't exist, and that's tech. So being able to be found on Google, being able to be found on Google Maps is just a basic example of tech in action. But now, of course, using database systems, using AI, using fintech for payments to be made is a very key aspect of new ways and new things that the technology enables and empowers businesses to do. If you look around the world, even in America is constantly looking to pull tech talent to America. And we often look at America as the pinnacle of tech. But there are special visas just to allow more tech people to enter into America. Same for the UK, where there are even some Ghanaians in the UK on tech visas because UK is looking for more tech talent. You can never have enough tech talent, and given the world is moving more and more into the tech era, we need more tech talent to be there. This starts from school level, university, extra training courses like Blossom Academy and IoT Network Hub and so on to develop and nurture these tech talent. But we do have amazing tech talents in Ghana. The biggest of Africa is a Ghanaian, Henry Chairman Hesse, started SoftTribe back in 1992. So before tech was even tech, he was there already deploying tech in Ghana, hence being called the Bill Gates of Africa. You have, for example, Ghana.gov, the fundamental tool for tax collection being built by local Ghanaian entrepreneurs, such as Alex Bram from Hubtail, ExpressPay, and IT Consortium being behind it. So we have great Ghanaian minds that can build great Ghanaian tech solving our problems here. You have Gregory from M-Pharma solving the medical and pharma issues in the country, not just for Ghana, but they have scaled across various countries in West Africa. Mishi Adi with Jetstream, providing a technology platform for logistics across the board. And you have other great tech founders doing amazing work for Ghana and Africa, starting here in Ghana. WeFlix, the Ghanaian Netflix, with over 1 million subscribers. So yes, we do have Ghanaians and we do have the talent here to build amazing tech. What we also need is not just the talent, but the business minds. We need the support. We need the users to buy into it. So the support from the various people. And we need the funding to scale within the country and expand them outside. But the talent is here, the solutions are here, and the government is also now given an enabling environment. From promoting the digitization of various aspects of the government, but also don't forget, Ghana was the first country to have mobile money operability and being able to move funds between various wallets. So we have been pioneering. The father of fiber optics, which we all know is what we need for our fast-speed internet, is Thomas Mensah, a Ghanaian. So for a long time we have been pioneering, but it's now how do we capitalize on what we already have and take it to the next step. The various things that they are doing, we need policies to be in place. This goes back to the Startup Act, but we know there's a digital economy policy, it's an AI policy, so they're already looking ahead at these things and having the right policies in place for the enabling environment for things to happen. They have been promoting things like e-port, e-pharmacy, and digitalization, for example, of even the e-learning for government schools to have an e-learning platform. So there's a lot of things that they are doing in the background, but I believe the private sector needs to take the lead on these things. So the government needs to create more of an enabling environment, more stability in the country, politically, economically, socially, to enable investors to have faith and confidence to put large ticket sums down in Ghana and support the great startups we have and help them scale. We don't want a situation where the government owns everything and national entities. We want the private entities to be thriving thanks to the work that the government has done. This is also about things like telecoms, making sure that the connection, the Wi-Fi connection, the coverage is large by supporting the telecom companies, the MTNs, the Telecells, the Airtel Tigos, to make sure that they have wider coverage and bringing costs down so everybody can afford to be online. Final words. Our great president said, we don't look east, we don't look west, we look forwards. The man before him said, we need to think and look ahead. How are we looking ahead and how are we thinking? We need to collaborate more together. We need to be more intentional about what we're doing. We're not competing against each other. We're neither competing against our brothers in Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Senegal, or Ivory Coast. We need to be one Africa and see how do we collaborate, how do we open innovate, how do we ideate great solutions, and how do we implement them flawlessly. Let us really think about how to make Africa great again, how to make Ghana great again. How do we be pioneering? How do we leapfrog? We need to, because it's in our hands, it's in our future, it's our best interest. Tech, business, policy, politics, government, consumers, we all need to come together and have a concrete plan and flawless execution of how we take Ghana forward. So my name is Isaac Newton Acquah, Isaac Newton, like the scientist, Acquah, and I'm available on all social media channels. Check me out on LinkedIn, Twitter, and looking forward to connect.